Hey, welcome to Apiary Fund Live today. And we thought we'd mix it up a little bit today because we do have a boot camp going on. My name's Dave, and we do have a boot camp going on this week. And instead of, kind of showing you around what's going on with the boot camp and talking to people around there and how they're doing it, because we've done that before quite a bit, we thought we'd actually mix it up a little bit and instead do a interview with an actual funded trader for you guys to see. And before we get started though, I want to make a quick audio check. Is everybody hearing me okay? I'm actually going to pull up my phone here so that I can see your guys' chats. Is everybody hearing? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, if you can hear me, put a Y in the chat. I'd appreciate it before we get going, before we get started. And it would be awesome. Hey, Norma, nice to have you on here. I'm just pulling up the chats right now. So if you guys have any questions at all throughout our interview, please ask them. And I'd love to get some interaction on your guys' part and to see a little bit about answering your guys' questions and helping you guys become better traders. All right, perfect. Yes, excellent. We're getting some yeses out there. Perfect. I know there's a little bit of a delay. YouTube loves to have that latency delay. Normally it's 10 seconds. So if you guys, again, I will be periodically checking on the chats to make sure I see your guys' questions, and then we'll hopefully get them answered. Again, my name's Dave. I've been a trader with the Apiary Fund for coming up on 8 years now, and love it. Love every bit of trading, as you guys do too. And I get the opportunity, most of the time, I get the opportunity to be the guy behind the camera filming Sean. And today I'm going to test my skills on the other side of the camera, so don't be too harsh on me today. But I'm excited because today we have a guest trader with us. Her name is Ellie, and let's go ahead and show her on camera. Ellie has actually been with us for 7 years.
No, for 6 years.
6 years.
Yep.
She's been training with us for 6 years. And you guys hearing her okay too? I just want to make sure you guys are hearing her audio. So she's been with us for 6 years. So Ellie, tell us how you got started trading.
Actually, I started trading 10 years ago. So it's with my personal account. And then 6 years ago, I joined Apiary Fund until now. And then when I started trading, I learned a lot that people, they start to learn how to trade after the retirement. And then I just wonder how if I make it the other way around. So I learned how to trade first, and then after that I'm going back to my professional job. And then I think that's a good decision because right now at least I have one strategy that I can hold on if I retired, or if I need or in case if I cannot do any professional job, I have something that I can do by myself at home, and I am a stay-at-home mom for a daughter. So it's a good income, and it helps. It helps to supplement the income to the family as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. So I was actually talking with some of our people here and saying, who's a good person that I could bring on? And your name came up as one of our most consistent traders in the fund, month in and month out. You've been with us for 6 years. You've had a good opportunity. But before we really dive into the meat of trading, let's get to know you just a little bit better. Ellie, if you don't mind sharing, where are you from and how. Take us on your journey, who you are and where you're from and all that.
Sure. Hi, I'm Ellie. So I'm originally from Indonesia. I live in Utah. And then my background is clinical pharmacy. So actually I'm a pharmacy. I have my master degree from UK. And then I have no financial background at all. So when I started trading, I learned from a lot of from the internet, and then how to trade, about the market, and then about the financial market. That's it's just learning by doing, actually. Yeah.
Appreciate the comments out there on YouTube. Can we turn Ellie's volume up just a little bit more so people can hear her? And then excellent. Keep those comments coming in. We'll try and dial this in. Like I said, I'm usually the guy behind there, so I can get on it a little quicker. So we're just having some people stand in to help us out today. So does it sound good now? Is that a lot better? All right. Perfect. Ellie, again, we can't thank you enough for helping us out with this YouTube Live today.
Thank you.
So you said you're from Indonesia, right?
Right.
And so why or how did you make your way over to Utah?
Because my husband got a job over here.
Okay.
That's why we moved to Utah. And then well, we met Jeff Crystal. If you know, Jeff Crystal is one of the instructor here. And then he is our mentor in trading, and then he taught us a lot about trading. So we learned the stock trading and then option trading and forex trading with him. Yeah, that's how we get into Utah.
So you said you were a pharmacist, but are you still right now, or are you?
I'm going to do my licensing examination as a pharmacist in October.
Okay.
So I'm going back to my professional job because I think I'm doing enough for the forex market research. So, and I have one strategy that I can that I use at the moment. So I'm going back to my old job. Yeah.
So what was the biggest reason why you said, because like you said earlier, most people do it retirement income. Most people want to retire off of trading income and have that. So what was your biggest reason why you got into trading?
There is one quote from Warren Buffett, if you know, is if you don't make money when you sleep, it means that you're gonna work until it means that you're gonna work until you die. So it means that you have to be actively working to get the income. And then I also learned that there are a lot of people that started to learn. They start to learn how to trade after they retired from their professional job. So learning to trade, to me at least, it takes time. That's why that's my reasons from the beginning. That's why that I start to learn how to trade when I was young, and then after that when I was like 10 years ago, and then after that, after doing the long research, and after I got I think I know how to trade the market. Now I'm going back to work to get the active income. But I have my trading skill for the passive income. So the main goal is for the long-term investment, for my retirement, and to support my daughter going to college.
That's awesome. That's really good.
That two are my main goals. Why I learned trade 10 years ago.
So how is I guess if I can how has the Apiary helped you to get to those goals?
The education is the most important part. So before you jump to trade, you have to be well educated, because this is not gambling.
Right.
Yeah. This is just like if you trade, it's just like you run a business. So it's like you play with the probability in the market to find which pair that can move, or which direction that you will pick. So it's more like a probability in trading. So it's not gambling. So you have to be well educated. So Apiary provides a very good education in forex trading. So I think that will make you that will provide a solid foundation and knowledge for starting how to trade forex market. Forex market is the trickiest one.
It really is.
Yeah.
But if you can learn that, then you can pretty much, if you have that same skill set, you can pretty much trade anything, right?
Yep. Right.
So now let's get into kind of what everybody probably wants to know is like, what have you found in your trading? What strategy, what edge have you found that has helped you to become consistently profitable month in and month out? Or what is your style system, and what is it that you do to be profitable?
Oh, okay. I'm a long-term trader, so my trade is like 1 week, or it's a swing trader. It's a swing trade and a long-term trade. So I close my trade on average, I think like 2 or 3 weeks later. So and then my time frame is 1 hour. The most important thing in trading, this is from Jeff Crystal as well, that you have to develop a mechanical trading strategy without any emotion involved. Because as you know that human and money relationship is very complex, especially when you trade and then you look at the screen, you can see the floating loss over there, and then you can see it becomes bigger and bigger. Then your emotion will kick in, and then you become panic and then do something. I mean, like something that is not not you planned before. So the main point is just try to develop a mechanical trading strategy for yourself that suits your personality and your psychology.
So you long-term trade, you position
Yes.
trade. And on average, you about 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
You hold on to those trades.
Right.
See, I love that because, I mean, a lot of times on YouTube we see Sean trade. He doesn't do that.
No, I don't like that that style of trading because it doesn't suit my personality.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. Is like, no matter if you trade like Sean or you trade like Ellie and you hold the position, there's enough ways to make money in the market. You don't have to just trade one way. In fact, if you did trade one way or one system, one strategy worked, then there wouldn't be room for all of us because computers could do it, right?
Right.
You know?
There are a lot of trading styles, so you can pick one that you can develop one. You can pick one that suits better with yourself. Yeah.
Do you use any tools, indicators, anything like that to help you get that tactical edge?
I don't really like indicators.
You don't?
Yep. I usually just look at the chart. The most that I use is the 3-bar reversal.
Okay.
Okay, and then
On the 1 hour chart.
Yeah, 1 hour chart.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my time frame trading. And then because to me indicator is lagging. Yeah, the
Tells you what happened, not what's going to happen.
Yep, it's in the past.
Yeah.
So it won't give you any valid information about what's going to happen in the past because forex, you cannot really forecast forex, I think, because it really depends on the market, depends on the government when they make announcement or there is some there is a natural disaster in one country, then suddenly the currency will just going south, and then that's it. Yeah.
Sean made a good statement today in our taproom trading. He actually traded this morning, and he said, you never ever ever chase the market, right? You never do what the market, follow the market, what it just did. Always try to predict the market, right? And try to be ahead of the market because know where it's going instead of where it's been. And so I kind of follow the same thing. I don't personally use indicators, but I do know that people that do use indicators, like Todd, Jeff, a lot of people use indicators to get them that tactical advantage. There's nothing wrong with that, but I tend to follow like you, just use price action and the news events and see what's happening on in the markets.
Right.
And so I love that.
And if you have been in the market long enough, I think you have a solid understanding about the market. Yeah, if you just look at, you just include the market, I mean, like watch the market every day and then do the trading every day. Eventually, you will get the intuition.
Yeah, kind of get the feel, the feel of the market. I'm going to look over at some of these questions from YouTube, if that's
sure.
okay, and let's see. Merrick asks, what is Ellie's favorite time frame to trade, which is the 1 hour chart, but do you have a time of day that you tend to sit down and like look at the markets, or do you have a setup, do you know what I mean, is the morning, afternoon, evening, or when you actually sit down to set up your trades?
Okay, so because it's 1 hour trade, I usually look at the chart just like 15 minutes or 20 minutes in the morning, and then I place the trade, and then after that I just leave the trade until maybe in the afternoon, and then I will check my trade again, and then after that sometimes around nighttime before I sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So what do you look at? Again, Jasmine asks, what's your biggest trigger that says I'm going to jump into this trade? What's a trade trigger for you that says I'm going to take this trade? What do you look for?
I usually pick the direction. So I'm not suggesting a trade at the moment, but like now, as you can see from the chart, pound sterling is going south very deep. So I'm trying to fish the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to buy pound sterling, but this is not a suggestion. So that's my personal decision. If you look at the chart at the moment, that pound sterling is really going down. It's very deep. So I'm trying to fish the bottom, and I'm waiting for the pound sterling to go back up. That's one of my strategy. Yeah.
So you try to wait for it to reach the bottom, and
Yeah.
then you
And
tend to buy up.
I'm going to buy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So and if when you buy and then it doesn't work, you just have to close the trade and then wait again.
Until those
until
are. So
it
do
reaches
you?
the lowest level.
A question here is what pairs? Rick asked, what pairs do you typically look at? Do you trade?
I trade most of the major pair like yen and then euro, pound sterling, and then Australia and New Zealand. The most I like is pound sterling because the volatility is very wild, so you can make a lot of money from that. But you also can lose a lot of money if you have no education.
Yes,
Yep.
And I think that's going back to the education. I mean, it's kind of what Apiary Fund does provide and helps people with is but once you achieve that, I guess a funded account, that's not the education still continues. Right? It doesn't end once you once you start trading real money.
Yeah.
That's when it starts, I think.
I'm still doing my research until now. even that I have my own strategy, I'm still doing my research to refine my strategy.
Is there, during your whole time of developing your strategy and trading and becoming more consistent, is there anything that you can say in your personal training journey that really, really stuck out to you and was like a pivotal moment that helped you in your path of trading, that maybe you could give them advice or something that helped you along the way to get to where you're at?
Yes. So like what I mentioned before, so the most important thing is the education. You have to develop your skill set, and then from there, then you try to develop your own strategy that suits best with your personality. Don't follow other people's trading styles, because different people they have different different physiological state and different personality, and then after that develop a trading strategy that is very mechanical. So you have to plan your trade and then trade your plan. So no emotion involved, because when you look at the market movement and then you look at your floating loss, it's very easy to get your emotion kick in, and then you will make a bad decision.
So Howard asks, how long did it take you to go through Beeline to funding? I'm going to probably go out on a limb and say that you probably were funded before Beeline was around. Yeah.
Beeline is just recently. I was funded far before the Beeline.
Yeah. So Howard, Beeline is something that we've been doing for about 3, maybe 4 years now, and maybe 3 years. Ellie's been funded for a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, right.
So before that, before Beeline, we had like a 12-module course that you had to go through, and then we had our risk manager would take a look at your statistics, and it was more of a one-on-one. Say, okay, you're ready, let's go ahead and get you funded. Since then, Beeline has more of a systematic approach, and so give you guys an answer to that. Let's see, just looking at some of these questions that you guys have. Okay, so that's another Beeline question. So I can, for me personally, I did go through Beeline and got funded that way. So I'll tell you from personal experience, probably the pre-fund Gold 1 was the most difficult for me from a personal amount. A lot of people are saying that it's true, emotion is the one thing that they, so how did you learn to manage that emotion? Because I'm sure in the beginning it was difficult, right?
Wow, it's very hard.
So is there any tips that you could share that you did?
Especially it involves money. Everything involves money is just very hard. Yeah, that like what I mentioned before, you just have to develop your trading strategy, the mechanical one. So when it's time for you to cut your loss, then you just cut your loss. And then if it's just follow the plan that you already outlined before. So you have to have a trading plan. I think, I think Jeff, I think if you take Jeff's classes, he mentioned about how to develop a trading plan, very detailed in there. And then after that, you follow that. And then every time you have, every time if the market doesn't go to your way, you just have to do evaluation. So try to think what went wrong and then what happened, and then how to solve that problem. Like maybe your size is too big, so try to cut down your size. And then usually the most problem with the trader is the size.
The position size.
The position size.
Yeah.
So the sizing. So you have to know what is the best sizing for your strategy. Usually it's the sizing part. It's too big, and then after that it makes you lose a lot of money.
So for you, that is a good question that you bring up. So for you, what is your sizing? What do you usually do? I mean, is it a percentage of your account size? Do you base your position size on a percentage of the account size, or how many trades do you usually put on? I think there's a question here that somebody's asked, what's your take profit on a trade that you're looking for, and maybe your stop loss too as well, or how do you approach a trade?
I size based on my distance to stop loss.
Okay.
Yeah. So my size is pretty small. So for like 10,000, my size is 0.01 for 5 positions. So I think it's not. That's based on my experience and based on my research. That's how. The most important thing is how you get out if the market doesn't go to your way.
And what's a typical take profit?
I aim for the long run.
Yeah.
I aim for the long run. So usually my take profit will be like hundreds of pips.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why I'm a position
trader.
position trader. So my take profit usually around 50 or to 100 pips. So it's a long shot. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you probably don't have a lot on. You're just hoping that 1 or 2 trades at a time,
going to my way, and then go for, for the long run.
Okay.
That's how I make money. Yeah.
So one of the things I tend to align myself with the Sean strategy, where I get in and get out, and I'm done trading for the day. I have an hour or so. Just a personal question, because I've tried to position trade before as I'm trying to learn how to trade. I tried doing that. I forgot that I had trades on. How do you?
Yeah, that's why.
how do you remind yourself, like, oh, I need to check my trade?
That's why you have to include market into your daily routine.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned to you before. So you have to watch the trade and then look at the chart. It's like your daily routine. You're going to eat, and then you're going to shower. It's just the same.
It's the same thing. You just put it in your daily routine. I love that. So you got to wake up, get breakfast,
and then
check your trades,
right? And then in the
go to the gym, whatever it is, right?
Right. And then in the afternoon you go check your trade again, and then night before you go to sleep, and then check again your market, and then check the trade, and then watch out for the news event that is coming out. And yeah, that's how I do it.
So if a major news event's coming out, like maybe non-farm or the FOMC minutes, do you get out of your trade before that happens, or how do you approach that if you have open trades and there's a major news event's going to happen? How do you handle that?
Usually for the position trader, the major news event, they don't really affect us.
Doesn't affect. Okay.
Yep. And then because my sizing is pretty small, so it doesn't really, the news event just doesn't really affect us.
Okay.
So
I love that. I love that.
I don't like the I don't like that news event just jumping up and down. That's why I choose to be a long-term trader. Yeah.
It probably is a little, it helps you take more emotion out of it, right?
Right.
Then you're like, you're seeing it so fast, like what Sean does, right?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people get really emotional when they start seeing big losses.
Yeah.
Let's see, do we have any other questions out there that I may have missed? Even anybody in the room here see a question that I may have missed? I think Golden asked which instructor that you follow the most by name dropping Jeff. Is Jeff the one that you follow the most, or did Jeff help you get started and now there's somebody else that you follow a lot?
I follow Jeff Crystal, yeah.
A lot? Okay.
A lot until now, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think he's trying to make the trade like automated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do some computer automated trading. He's been really big on that.
Yeah, using programming. So yeah,
So.
I follow him a lot.
Do you do any of that? Just curious.
Yeah, I learned programming 2 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Learning programming is easier than learning how to trade. Personally.
It's because the rules never, it doesn't
Yeah.
change as frequently.
Right. But the market just keeps changing.
Let's see if there's any other questions here. I love that Texas conservative. I could probably make a bit of money writing books on what not to do in forex. A lot of people say they're stuck in gold one. Ellie, do you recommend attending or joining one of the trading groups, like a group of traders? Have you done that before?
Yeah, I mean, you can learn from other traders, and it helps you to develop your own strategy, because you can learn a little bit from another trader, and then get another, tips from another trader, and then just put it all together in your trading plan. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, from what I heard you say, I'd like to just offer 2 takeaways from having a conversation with you. And then, honestly, this is the longest conversation that I think I've had with you in a while, so it's kind of fun to get to know you. I mean, I've seen you here and there, but this is the longest conversation I've had with Ellie, and it's awesome to know that there's multiple traders out there that are being successful at Apiary Fund, in the Hive. I think you also trade do you trade a private account as well as Apiary Fund's account?
Yes.
And so a lot of people do, right? And Apiary is just another tool or an asset. But the 2 takeaways that I found from what you said is, one, I love the quote that you offered with Warren Buffett: if you're not making money in your sleep, then you're going to be working every day of your life to make money, right?
Right.
So find a way to make a passive income, right? And so, and I love the fact that you're doing that, is you're using this trading as passive income, and hopefully, be able to put your daughter through college, right?
Yeah.
And so those are great and awesome goals, and I know that trading can do that, right?
Of course.
And then the last one is the other takeaway that I think that I got from is that there's not just one way to trade. She is really, really successful doing position trading. We have a lot of traders in the fund who do scalping, who do swing trading, who do position trading, and are very successful with it. Not one method is the best method. You don't have to conform to one way. In fact, going through Beeline it teaches you a myriad of different ways, but find the way that best suits you. And it might, and in your way, it might be, well, I don't have time, I don't have an hour to sit in front of my computer, and so you might, Ellie position trading, you don't have to sit for hours on end every single day to trade, right? And so that might be a great way for people who have a job, who have a lot going on, where trading, they just can't find that hour every day. Maybe position trading is for you. And so I'm hoping that this helps you guys in bringing on, you see Sean a lot, you see how Sean trades, and that's a great way to trade. I do it, but bringing on somebody else that is also successful, that is quite the opposite of the way that Sean trades. Hopefully that helps you guys get a little bit more insight that there's more than one way that you can make a profit with the currency market. And if you like this stuff, obviously I'm going to ask you guys to like and subscribe, of course. If you like more of this stuff where we bring on guest traders, we bring on people that have actually are doing it and are being successful at the Apiary Fund. Real quick before we end, I'm just going to see if I missed any other comments, anything else. Deborah says, Jeff who? Jeff is an instructor at the Apiary Fund, so on the calendar. Norma asks, does Ellie, is she at the boot camp to teach? No, she's not. She's not participating in the boot camp. It's something that I just was like, instead of doing the boot camp, let me find somebody I can interview. At first, I was just going to interview somebody over the internet, but I'm like, hey, Ellie's right here in our own backyard, so let me grab her and bring her in studio face to face. And so we're lucky and grateful for sure that you could help us with this.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. And anything else? Okay, I think we're good, guys. I'm just going to ask Ellie one last thing to wrap us up, hopefully, that if you could give any advice to brand new traders out there getting started, what is it that you would tell them if they're just getting started and trying to do this? And you know, if you could go look back on what you did, maybe give them a little bit of advice.
Okay, so the first and most important thing is get education. So you have to be well educated before you start trading. You have to know what you are doing, because this is not gambling. You learn, you play with the probability in the market. And then the second one, develop your own trading strategy. So you won't have emotion kick in when you trade, and you won't make any bad decision. And then the last one, it takes time. So believe me, I have been there. I started 10 years ago, so it takes a long time to really it takes a long time for me to really get one good strategy that works well for me. So if you are now still learning, and then you don't really have a good strategy, and then you still, struggling, you just have to keep doing it, and then make the trading and then looking at the market as your daily routine. So you can have the solid understanding of the market.
I love that. A daily routine,
yes,
looking at the market, because it just keeps you mentally focused on doing it, and,
right,
and always going forward in your trading, right?
So you have the intuition. It's just the same like when you learn how to swim. You have to just keep doing it and practice it. So yeah, to be
and eventually you get it, right?
Yep.
And it clicks.
Finally, yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. It takes time, so be patient. Yeah.
I couldn't said it better myself. I love trading. I love and it just, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yep.
So just by doing it, you get better.
And this is not the rich, like the quick rich scheme. So
it's not. It takes a little time.
Right.
So thank you again, Ellie, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for being on the YouTube Live today. Hopefully we got all your questions answered. But one of the things that Ellie said is that education, develop your strategy, and that is honestly, if you've ever, for the people that have attended a boot camp, can attest to that. That is the exact thing that we do. That's going on right now at the boot camp, is help you to develop a strategy, and we have that hands-on. So I would ask, if you guys have not attended a boot camp, to find a way, make a way, create a way to get to a boot camp, because that's exactly what we do, is to create those strategies. That being said, again, appreciate Ellie, appreciate all of you guys. I think we're going to wrap up here. So thank you guys for allowing us to have 30, 40 minutes of your day to kind of help you overcome some of your trading hurdles. So with that, thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next live next Wednesday.
Thank you.